no matter the circumstances on earth, God is still God. Hi everybody, I'm Latanya, the multifaceted mom, and today we are talking about how God blessed my finances, you guys. So story time. Last year around December, I did a video called The Financial Reset, and this is something that I did, I want to say in October. I did a financial reset because my finances were a hot ass mess, okay? Hot. Every credit card was maxed out. I had about 8 afterpays in the firms. It was disgusting. It was a hot mess, but it's life. I mean, it's life. And a year before that, my finances were in a very good place, and I think that's kind of where now my mindset has shifted, because finances are gonna go up and down. However, that does not change the ultimate goal, and my goal is to be completely debt free with an 800 plus credit score and very wealthy, able to pay off my kids' credit card or my kids' college and generation wealth. So anyway, let's get into story time. So I did this financial reset, and I pretty much sold things in my house. I paid off about 8, I want to say like 5 credit cards by myself. I paid off about 6 or 7 of the afterpays in the firm, or buy now, pay laters. I left my marriage with one loan that, wasn't necessarily my fault. However, I took responsibility for the loan. So I had about $250 coming out of my check every single month, along with going from, having a little help with childcare to paying everything myself. So finances were extremely tight. And I was working with about an $80,000 income, and this is how good God is, because in June I was blessed to get this job right after I gave birth to Lila, and then I left my marriage in August, and I was moving into a 1-bedroom apartment in September with my job that I had just got. So my job was a $30,000 increase from my previous job before I was laid off, and it was a $30,000 increase. So it allowed me to be able to pay for childcare. I just had to budget. I had to budget. I couldn't eat out. I had to be very strategic. But anyway, so fast forward to after my financial reset, I was able to pay off all of this debt. I was taking it one card at a time. I listed my finances from smallest to largest. And again, I go through all of these steps in my financial reset video about how I tackle my debt. And this just shows the intentionality behind when you have faith. That's all God needs. God only needs faith the size of a mustard seed. And I grew up with the mindset of you're always going to be in debt. And I just didn't want to believe that. I started to believe wow, I can actually pay off my student loans. I can actually pay off my credit cards. So this year I made a goal to pay off all of my credit card debt. And then next was going to be my car. So you guys, come February, I had a few credit cards left. I had about $5,000 worth of credit card debt. I went from $11,000 to $5,000, still not including the afterpay from the firm. I posted around March in my group, just kind of saying wow, I don't give myself enough credit. I posted in my Dave Ramsey group. And if you don't know, Dave Ramsey is a Christian financial guru who is all about tackling debt. He gives step 1 through 7 on paying off debt. And I am Dave-ish. I am almost there. I wish I could be 100% Dave, but I just can't, because I am going to finish grad school. However, I do believe that, paying off debt is important and just living in financial freedom, because God does not want you to be a slave to money or a slave to man. He wants you to have an abundant life. So, going to my story, I was feeling like I did not give myself enough credit for how far I've came after my divorce within 6 months. Like, finances were messy, and I feel like I pretty much started from scratch all over again while maintaining a whole household by myself, paying off a lawyer, going through so much. But I always believed that, like, God was going to bless me. And this is why when you set a goal and you write the vision down, make it clear, God blesses it. And not only did I come into random pots of money to just go toward my debt, I mean, things were randomly selling on Facebook Marketplace. When I posted this post in Dave Ramsey group, just saying how, I'm a single mom, I left my marriage around this time. Since August, it was now March, I paid off 5 credit cards. I saved up, I almost saved up my goal for my savings account. I paid off Afterpays and the firms, and I paid off my lawyer within this short time span. I got so many responses, you guys. And if I find a post, I'm going to put it on here, but I got so many responses. And then I got a blessing. Somebody hit me up in my DM saying, hey, I saw your post in that Dave Ramsey group. It was really inspiring. How much debt do you have left? And I'm like, this is a scam. But then something in my heart was like, no, trust it. So I told him about $4,900 worth of debt. And he was like, okay, where's your Cash App or Zelle? I want to give it to you. Now, of course, I'm like, this gotta be a scam. But then I had this voice in my head that said, trust it. So I took my Cash App card off of my Cash App, because I was like, okay, if they don't have access to my bank account, if I take it all off of Cash App, they can't take anything from me. And y'all, when I sent him this, I'm like, is he really gonna do it? He not gonna do it. He not. He did bless me with $4,900 to pay off all of my credit card debt. And I really just took it didn't feel real, because I'm like, what? Like, me randomly being blessed with $4,900 from a stranger, from a status of me just like finally being grateful for how far I've come, how far God has allowed me to go. This man blessed me with $4,900 to pay off the rest of my student loans. Not student loans, the rest of my credit card debt. Like, what? And it took me a moment to really like feel like it was real. I kept looking at my account, y'all. Like, for 3 days, I didn't spend it for 3 days. I kept looking at my account. And when I finally realized that it was real and this was a blessing from God, like I heard God say, trust it. It's coming from me. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to trust it. But I'm also going to have a little backup plan. I'm deleting, my bank accounts from this. Like, I can't have it, But it was real. And that's what God does. When you set out to do something, He is going to bless you. When He puts a vision in your mind, and I kid you not, I come from a family that believes that, like a lot of people, you always gonna be in debt. I don't believe that. I don't want to be in debt. I feel like it's just not a part of my generational wealth plan that I want to build for me and my family. And God blessed me with a random man paying me $5,000. He used him in his journey to bless me. what? And that's like, God is just so good. And it's so many testimonies that I have, but I'm gonna just say, and end it off on here. When you set out to do something, I read so many scriptures in the Bible in Matthew. That's why I first started when Jesus was first introduced. I read so many scriptures about he had faith, so now he's healed. He had faith, so now God blessed him with this. He had faith, so now he's healed from death or healed from blindness. And everything was repetitive. He had faith, so God did, or so Jesus blessed him with this, and so God did this, and so Jesus did. Like, all you need is faith. So, and faith without works is dead, because I worked very hard to pay off that debt. I was disciplined, and I think that's what God wants. He wants to see what you're going to do. He wants to see how much weight you're going to put behind it, because then he's going to be blessing you along the way. Letting me sell Facebook Marketplace stuff. I got $100. I'm not going out and spending it on clothes. Oh, I'm putting it in my bank account and paying it towards my smallest balance. I'm paying any little bit of taxes or whatever I get. Oh, I'm putting it in savings. I'm not playing around with this, because I'm no longer playing with my life. I have a vision for where I want my life to be. And I think that when you have this vision that God plants in your head, you start putting the seeds down, and God starts to water it, honey. He waters the seeds that you plant. So I'll end it here, you guys. That was my testimony on how God blessed me and pay off my credit card debt. I pray that he does whatever is in his will for your life. In your life, I pray that this motivates you to set out to accomplish any goal. When I tell my story on how Houston came about and how my moves came about and everything that led me to where I'm going, I can't wait to tell that testimony, because no matter the circumstances on earth, God is still God. You $100,000 in debt, God is still God. It could be gone tomorrow. Like, that's how you gotta think. It could be gone tomorrow. So get ready for your blessings.